the fascinating history of alchemy. Greetings, esteemed colleagues and scholars. Today, we embark on an in-depth exploration of alchemy, a discipline that has profoundly influenced the development of science, philosophy, and the esoteric traditions throughout human history. Alchemy, often misconstrued as merely the transmutation of base metals into gold, is a complex and multifaceted field. It encompasses early chemical science, metallurgical practices, medicinal advancements, and a rich tapestry of philosophical inquiry. From its ancient origins to its subtle transformation into modern chemistry and physics, alchemy has been a cornerstone in humanity's quest to understand and manipulate the fundamental nature of matter. In this comprehensive analysis, we will delve into the origins of alchemy across various ancient civilizations, examine the philosophical questions it posed, scrutinize the methodologies and apparatuses employed by alchemists, and trace its evolution during the Renaissance and scientific revolution. Additionally, we will assess alchemy's eventual decline and its enduring legacy in contemporary scientific thought. This presentation is tailored for those well-versed in the field, aiming to provide deep technical insights and a fact-driven examination of alchemy's intricate history. Let us commence this intellectual journey into the alchemical traditions that have shaped our understanding of the natural world. Origins of alchemy. Alchemy's origins are as diverse as they are ancient, with roots extending into several early civilizations, each contributing uniquely to its development. In ancient Egypt, around 2000 BCE, practitioners engaged in proto-alchemical practices, focusing on metallurgy and dyeing techniques. The Egyptian term chem, meaning black earth, possibly alludes to the fertile Nile Delta and may be the etymological root of alchemy. The Egyptians were adept at producing alloys and extracting metals, establishing foundational metallurgical knowledge. Simultaneously, in ancient Mesopotamia, cuneiform tablets reveal early chemical processes related to glassmaking and metallurgy. However, it was the Hellenistic period in Greco-Roman Egypt where alchemy began to flourish as a distinct discipline. The fusion of Greek philosophy with Egyptian and Babylonian empirical knowledge created a fertile ground for alchemical thought. Greek philosophers such as Empedocles introduced the concept of the four classical elements, earth, water, air, and fire, as the fundamental constituents of matter. Later, Aristotle expanded on this by proposing that these elements could be transformed into one another, setting a theoretical foundation for transmutation. In China, Taoist alchemists pursued internal and external alchemy, Naidan and Weidan, seeking immortality and spiritual enlightenment. By the 4th century BCE, they experimented with elixirs containing mercury and lead, substances now known to be toxic, highlighting a lack of differentiation between spiritual and material pursuits. These disparate traditions underscore alchemy's universal appeal as a means to understand and harness the transformative processes observed in nature. Philosophical questions posed by alchemy. Alchemy delved deeply into philosophical inquiries about the nature of reality and matter. Central to alchemical thought were several profound questions. Origin of substances. How do substances come into existence? Alchemists pondered the genesis of matter, drawing on cosmological theories and metaphysical concepts. Composition of matter. What are the fundamental components that constitute all things? Building upon the elemental theories of Empedocles and Aristotle, alchemists considered the interplay of elements and principles in forming various substances. Transmutation and transformation. Can substances be transformed into different substances? Alchemists firmly believed in the possibility of transmutation, not only of metals but of the self, through spiritual purification. The essential idea was that base metals possessed the potential to become noble metals. This potentiality could be actualized by manipulating the proportions of elemental qualities, hot, cold, dry, and moist, thus transforming their inherent nature. Moreover, alchemists embraced the doctrine of mimesis, the imitation of nature, positing that through artifice, one could replicate and accelerate natural processes. They saw themselves as participants in a cosmic cycle of generation and corruption, aiming to reveal the hidden perfection within matter. These philosophical underpinnings highlight alchemy's role as a precursor to modern scientific inquiry, blending speculative thought with empirical observation in a quest to unravel the mysteries of the material world. Ancient alchemy, Origins and sources. The primary sources concerning ancient alchemy are fragmentary and complex, often shrouded in allegorical language. Among the earliest surviving texts are the Leiden Papyrus X and the Stockholm Papyrus, dating to the 3rd or 4th century CE. These papyri, believed to be copies of earlier works, contain practical recipes for the imitation of gold, silver, precious stones, and the famed Tyrian purple dye. A notable figure frequently cited in these texts is Democritus, though the alchemical writings attributed to him are likely pseudepigraphal, composed by authors adopting his philosophical stance. Democritus introduced the concept of atomism, proposing that all matter consists of indivisible particles, atomos, a theory that subtly influenced alchemical thought on the rearrangement of matter. Another significant contributor is Zosimus of Panopolis, an Egyptian alchemist active around 300 CE. His extensive writings offer detailed descriptions of alchemical apparatus, procedures, and symbolic interpretations. Zosimus emphasized the spiritual dimension of alchemy, incorporating Gnostic and Hermetic philosophies, and introduced concepts like the divine water and the purification of the soul through alchemical practices. The Corpus Alchemicum Graecum is a collection of Greek alchemical texts compiled during the Byzantine period. This corpus includes works attributed to figures such as Maria the Jewess, who is credited with inventing the tribikos and the kerotakis. The transmission of alchemical knowledge was fraught with challenges. The use of cryptic symbols, code words, and allegories was prevalent, intended to protect the sacred knowledge from misuse. For example, alchemical substances were often referred to by celestial names or mythological figures, adding layers of complexity to their decipherment. Historical events such as Emperor Diocletian's edict contributed to the loss and fragmentation of primary sources. This scarcity and obscurity of texts led to divergent interpretations and the development of various alchemical traditions. Understanding these origins and sources is crucial for comprehending the evolution of alchemical thought and its impact on both scientific and esoteric domains. Alchemy's recipes and equipment. Alchemists employed a diverse array of substances and sophisticated apparatuses in their quest to transmute materials and uncover the secrets of nature. Primary substances, mercury, quicksilver, was valued for its liquid state at room temperature and symbolic representation of the fluid spirit. Sulfur was associated with combustibility and the soul, believed to impart transformative properties. Salt symbolized solidity in the body, critical in processes of purification and coagulation. Other substances included lead, tin, iron, copper, and various organic compounds. Alchemists theorized that by manipulating these substances through specific processes, they could alter their inherent qualities. Key processes. Calcination involved heating a substance to high temperatures to drive off impurities. Solution entailed dissolving materials to break them down into their constituent parts. Distillation separated components based on volatility, utilizing equipment like the alembic. Sublimation transformed a solid directly into a gas and back into a solid, often using the kerotakis. Equipment. Crucibles were used for high-temperature reactions. Alembics, distillation apparatuses with a cucurbit and a head, condensed vapors. Athanors were furnaces designed to maintain consistent heat, crucial for prolonged processes. Balneum Mariae, Bain Marie, a water bath invented by Maria the Jewess, provided gentle, even heating. Alchemical laboratories were often secretive spaces filled with enigmatic symbols and texts. The practice was an intricate blend of experimental technique and philosophical ritual, where the timing of operations might coincide with astrological events, and success was thought to require both precise methodology and spiritual purity. Alchemy in the Renaissance and Scientific Revolution. The Renaissance era catalyzed a resurgence of interest in alchemy, propelled by the recovery of classical texts and a burgeoning spirit of inquiry. The influx of Greek scholars into Western Europe facilitated the translation of significant alchemical works into Latin. Paracelsus emerged as a transformative figure, rejecting the traditional medical theories of Galen and Avicenna, advocating for an approach grounded in observation and the application of chemical substances in medicine. Paracelsus expanded the concept of the tria prima as principles explaining not only the composition of metals, but also human physiology and pathology. His contributions to iatrochemistry were foundational, introducing compounds like mercurous chloride and lead compounds into therapeutic practice. The publication of comprehensive compilations like the Theatrum Chemicum assembled alchemical knowledge from a vast array of sources. Concurrently, secret societies such as the Rosicrucians incorporated alchemical symbolism into their esoteric philosophies, blending mysticism with emerging scientific ideas. Alchemical experimentation laid crucial groundwork for the scientific revolution. Johannes Baptista van Helmont conducted quantitative experiments on gases, coining the term gas. His work on the conservation of mass in chemical reactions anticipated later developments in chemistry. However, the era also marked increasing tensions between alchemical practices and the nascent scientific method. The emphasis moved towards reproducible results, systematic experimentation, and mathematical description of natural phenomena. Despite these challenges, alchemy remained influential, bridging ancient philosophies with modern scientific disciplines and fostering a spirit of inquiry that would propel scientific advancement. Alchemy's transformation and decline. The transition from alchemy to modern chemistry was marked by both continuity and divergence. The 17th century saw critical figures who straddled the line between alchemical tradition and emerging scientific rigor. Robert Boyle, in The Skeptical Chymist, criticized the classical element theory and advocated for a corpuscular view of matter, laying the groundwork for atomic theory. Boyle conducted experiments to isolate chemical compounds and elements, emphasizing experimental validation over philosophical speculation. Isaac Newton, though renowned for his contributions to physics and mathematics, was deeply engaged in alchemy. His private notebooks reveal extensive alchemical experimentation and a fascination with the philosopher's stone. The development of the phlogiston theory by Georg Ernst Stahl attempted to explain combustion and calcination processes. The decisive shift came with Antoine Laurent de Lavoisier, who conducted meticulous quantitative experiments demonstrating the role of oxygen in combustion and refuting the phlogiston theory. Lavoisier's law of conservation of mass and his systematic approach to chemical nomenclature redefined chemistry as a modern science. Concurrently, the Enlightenment's emphasis on reason and skepticism led to a decline in the credibility of alchemy. The mystical aspects of alchemical practice were increasingly viewed with suspicion. Literary works like Ben Jonson's The Alchemist satirized alchemists as frauds, reflecting a broader societal shift. Alchemy's retreat marked the end of an era, even as its methodologies and questions continued to influence scientific thought. Legacy of alchemy. Although alchemy waned as a practiced discipline, its legacy endures within modern science and culture. Alchemists' rigorous experimentation and the development of laboratory equipment directly contributed to the methodologies of modern chemistry. Techniques such as distillation, sublimation, and crystallization remain fundamental processes in contemporary chemical laboratories. The pursuit of transmutation finds a parallel in nuclear chemistry and physics. The artificial transmutation of elements was achieved by Ernest Rutherford, who converted nitrogen into oxygen via nuclear reactions, a realization of alchemy's ancient dream. Philosophically, alchemy has influenced depth psychology, particularly through the work of Carl Gustav Jung. Jung interpreted alchemical symbols as archetypes representing processes of psychological transformation, integration of the conscious and unconscious mind. In literature and the arts, alchemical themes inspire exploration of transformation, redemption, and the reconciliation of opposites. Furthermore, the resurgence of interest in holistic and interdisciplinary approaches echoes alchemical thought. Fields like systems biology and complexity science recognize the importance of interconnections and emergent properties, concepts alchemists grappled with in their holistic view of nature. Alchemy's story underscores the importance of interdisciplinary approaches and the openness to explore beyond conventional boundaries. As we conclude this exploration, it is evident that alchemy represents a significant chapter in the evolution of human thought. Its practitioners, driven by curiosity and a profound desire to unlock the secrets of nature, laid essential foundations for multiple scientific disciplines. Alchemy's intricate blend of empirical practice, philosophical inquiry, and spiritual aspiration illustrates the complex pathways through which humanity seeks understanding. Reflecting on alchemy's history offers valuable insights into the development of scientific methodology and the shifting paradigms shaping our interpretation of the natural world. Thank you for joining this comprehensive analysis of alchemy's fascinating history. We invite you to delve deeper, share your perspectives, and consider how the echoes of alchemical thought continue to influence contemporary discourse.